The following is a Marlboro Cable Trust Sports presentation. I'm Bill Coggins here at the John J. Navin Rink, where tonight the Marlboro High School Panthers take on the North Middlesex Patriots in a big game, a non-league game between a Roy Conference team, Marlboro, and a Coghlan Conference team, North Middlesex. This game important, not within the league, but down the road. Both teams may end up playing each other later on in the season, and this is a big game for either team to prove that, yes, we are a formidable foe for the Central Mass Division II Championship. Marlboro, just off of a loss to St. Peter's, 5-4 in a terrific hockey game. Should be sky high for this one. A rebound, and the linesman gets dumped down below, and here comes North Middlesex. The goalie for Marlboro tonight, number 1, Mark Huggins, who had a fantastic game against Shrewsbury, and not so bad a game against St. Peter's from what I understand. An action-packed game the other night, Marlboro and St. Peter's. Now the puck behind the Marlboro net, where O'Brien trying to dump it out. In the forecheck is number 5, Scott Hancock for the Patriots of North Middlesex. Number 12, Tom Pear, bounces it around now into the Marlboro zone behind the net. North Middlesex with a quick change here. John Garland behind the net for Marlboro, wheeling it out, looking for superstar Rob Adams, who's been really letting him up for Marlboro this season. A bright spot for Marlboro in the St. Peter's game was the fine play from Mike Landis. Finally starting to hit the back of the twine in the net for Marlboro, and that will be a big plus, believe me, down the road for Marlboro. Early in the hockey game, 13:48 to go in the first period. No score, John J. Navin Rink. North Middlesex Patriots, Marlboro Panthers. With the alignment of the league, this should be a great rivalry down the road, as North Middlesex, known for their outstanding hockey teams, actually their whole athletic program. And now we have a breakthrough center ice. Dolan, who had 2 goals against Shrewsbury, including the game winner, dumps it in the corner, and that's back on front, and Dolan just shoots it wide of the net. And O'Brien with a quick little flick shot. Billy Kelly with the rebound, puts it towards the net, but Mark Ralfalski, the goaltender, comes up big there for North Middlesex early, and there's a good play there by Dolan, a kick in the head, and a shot off the side of the net by number 19 for Marlboro, Joey LaCroix. Now it's back on front, Dolan with a quick shot and a save. Actually, it was broken up by the defense, and now goes through center ice. Into the Marlboro zone, where Mike O'Brien for Marlboro, number 22, a fine defenseman, circling the net. And he fans on a pass. Dangerous play out in front of the net. Fortunately, no North Middlesex man there. Now there is. And a backhander and a save by Huggins. A beautiful save early in a hockey game by Mark Huggins. Playing some fine hockey for Marlboro. And now we have a breakthrough center ice. Here's Dolan still on the ice for Marlboro. Billy Kelly now, and it's broken up by number 20 down below, Mike Noble. Now it's batted around and finally handled by Kelly, who loses it. Number 9. Billy Cole whistles it in, wide of the net. Cole behind the net. Now Dolan breaks it up for Marlboro, wings it around the boards. Dolan got to be tired out there. A long shift for Mike Dolan for Marlboro. Now a play through center ice. Joe LaCroix almost snuck in behind Billy Cole for North Middlesex. Would have been in alone, and now we have an icing on the play. A real long shift there for the Marlboro second line of Mike Dolan, Billy Kelly, and Joey LaCroix, excuse me, fighting off a cold here. Down the road, this game, they could look back. North Middlesex. Through center ice is number 6, John Andrews. And there's Cole. Back to the point to number 10, who whistles one in. Number 10 for North Middlesex, Tim Blanchard. The puck on edge there, just flipped it towards the net where Huggins covered up. Face off to the right of goaltender Mark Huggins. His left, our right. Number 5, Scott Hancock, manning the slot for North Middlesex. A dangerous place for a player to be, and as a face-off just to the right of Huggins. A nice draw back to to Hancock. Could have paid off, but no, now Marlboro with the play. O'Brien was willing to tee it up from anywhere. Swatted behind the net by Ralfalski, the goaltender for North Middlesex. And now it's bounced around. Gallner whistles one in, and it's saved by the goaltender, Ralfalski. Play behind the North Middlesex zone here in the left corner. Here's a good shot at number 3, Richard Clare, trying to nail number 2, Brendan McNabb, through center ice. Brendan McNabb, number 2. And now the puck bounced around. Good action, end to end here in the early going. Good clean action I'm in at. Now the puck through center ice. And it is dumped down behind the goaltender Ralfalski, and Marlboro with a line change. Number 17, Mark Foran, in deep, trying to pin, and there's Landers and Adams. A chance for Marlboro with this, starting their offensive show here of Adams, Landers, and Foran. Adams could have been guilty of a hold there, but the referee let it go down below. And now he's behind the net, pushed off by big number 17, Chris Kean, for the North Middlesex Patriots. And now it's a potential 2-on-2 here. It was broken up beautifully by O'Brien, who's everywhere tonight for Marlboro. And we have an icing call. Of puck's going to come the length of the ice. Face off down below to the left of goaltender Mark Ralfalski. Number 1. Good number for goaltenders, number 1. Along with number 30, my 2 favorites. Kenny Dryden, number 29, was always a favorite of mine also. Forward now, behind the net. Now it's whipped up along the boards, where O'Brien whistles it back in, and Ralfalski with the save. O'Brien's not gun-shy out there for Marlboro. He'll wind up and take a slap shot from anywhere on the ice. And a dangerous one at that. Now Adams through the blue line, and now he's broken up, and Adams wheels it around, up around center ice. Landis, number 6 for Marlboro. Finally starting to light it up, and that's going to be a plus down the road for Marlboro. Almost a guaranteed shot in the districts. There's a shot and a save. O'Brien with a beautiful shot, and Ralfalski, the right pad save there for North Middlesex. Adams, Landis coming in to try to bat the rebound home, but Ralfalski wisely swatted it away. Good action up and down early in this hockey game. 9:11 to go here, first period. No score. North Middlesex, Sandy Ruggles, head coach, assistant coach John Jameson. Marlboro led by John Butler and Charlie Burgess. John Butler, the head coach, Charlie Burgess, the assistant. Now there's Dolan with a flick up to Joey LaCroix. LaCroix wide of the defender, number 3, Richard Clare. And now the puck back. Dolan trying to swing one in front for Kelly, but Kelly was parked right in front. There's LaCroix with a quick shot and a save by Ralfalski, the goaltender for North Middlesex. A beauty. LaCroix with a beautiful attempt there for Marlboro. Number 19, Joey LaCroix. Now there's Dolan. Dumps it behind the net. Dolan starting to play fine hockey for Marlboro. A good game against St. Peter's and a super game against Shrewsbury a week ago. Now Gauntlet behind the net. Number 13, a delayed offside there, Jim Lord. A little overexcited there, brought the puck in just before number 9 was able to clear the zone. Billy Cole for North Middlesex, so the faceoff will be outside the Marlboro line. Rather chilly evening outside. Continued cold here. And now O'Brien through center ice, who's played almost the whole first period for Marlboro. O'Brien now broken up behind the net, and now finally dumped out by number 12, Tom Pear of North Middlesex. Now through center ice, we got Brendan McNabb streaking through center ice. And there's a shot, and Huggins just got the glove hand out there enough to tip it wider than net. Well, that would have been Middlesex' first goal and a 1-0 lead. And now we have a break through center ice. A good hit there by number 3, Richard Clary. Maybe pronounced Claire, but K-L-A-H-R-E. Clary. Brendan McNabb a streak through center ice there in a first golden opportunity for North Middlesex in this hockey game. Huggins just barely able to tip it wide. And now behind the Marlboro net. And big Rob Adams. Up to land is a beautiful pass to Foreign, who had Adams, who was just offsides. Great puck work down below here by the Marlboro line of Adams, Landers, and Foreign. Absolutely fantastic passing down below. And Teddy Burgess dumps it into the zone. He's broken up, and there's Adams trying to sift through the defense. Now it's kept in by, and there's a shot and a score. Foreign. The tough work down below with the assist to the goal finally scored by Adams. A brilliant slap shot that just left Mark Ralfalski standing there. I don't think credit to the goaltender. That shot was drilled by Adams, who may have been a little upset at the offsides call just moments ago. Marlboro now on top of the scoreboard, 1-0. And there's Adams wheeling it through again. Collects the pass from center ice. Now it's broken up. Number 14 with a potential break, Kevin Malott. Make that Kevin Miller. And now the puck back into the North Middlesex zone. North Middlesex may be sick of seeing these guys before the night's over. This line of Adams, Landers, and Foreign. There's Adams with a wrist shot and a save by Ralfalski, the goaltender. Fine one. Kicked out the right pad. Brilliant save. And there's O'Brien once again down below, playing just about the whole game for Marlboro. Ray Bork style. And there's Miller again. The wrist shot just wide of the net. And Billy Kelly now trying to break up. But there's number 17 for North Middlesex, Chris Guillen, with a weak shot in on net. And number 10, Tim Blanchard. Now it's shot in. Billy Cole fanned on the shot. Marlboro has the potential here. North Middlesex playing a very timid game. Marlboro has the potential to net a couple of quick goals here. They really put this thing away early. 5:36 to go. The score is 1-0, but the opportunities are there for Marlboro. They just got to capitalize. A clean hockey game, no penalties to date. A lot of paper. And there's Dolan first of all in on net. Kelly slipping through the slot. Can't quite control. Now it's back to that point. Burgess with a slap shot. Tipped brilliantly. And now finally, oh, it looked like it was in, but no, the goal line isn't on here. Billy Kelly and this line doing a fantastic job for Marlboro as of late. That'll be key down the stretch. And there's another shot and a tip. Shot finally in. Kelly for Marlboro. Ted Burgess with the initial shot in. And Kelly, number 5 for Marlboro, collects the second goal for Marlboro on the evening. Credit the fine goaltending of Mark Huggins against Shrewsbury just a week ago. Kept Marlboro in it early. Shrewsbury came in sky high. Their goaltender also played a fantastic game. Now tonight, Huggins come up with a couple of big saves early. Big saves early in this hockey game. And now Marlboro on top, 2-0. A lot of print lately about the MIAA and the high school hockey. The potential is there to suspend high school hockey. We'll have to watch that as it develops. And now the hitting is picked up, and we're going to have a penalty here on Marlboro, I do believe. Our first penalty of the evening. Goes to number 11, J.J. O'Malley. His brother Sean sorely missed for Marlboro, number 10. They hope to get him back real soon. He was lighting him up early for this Marlboro Panther team. For the next minute and 26 seconds, North Middlesex will have a power play and a chance to get right back in this thing. What they could ill afford is a short-handed situation where Marlboro has their two offensive stars out there, Landers and Adams. A short-handed goal here would just about end it. North Middlesex would be really down after that. Got to take chances, though. A young North Middlesex team. And there's Adams trying to break out from Marlboro. Now broken up by Landers, who whips it out and through center ice. Good forechecking here. Oh, and almost a break. And now we have a potential break here for Marlboro. Landers into the zone, whips it in front, and there's a big shot and a save. Adams. Credit Ralfalski with a brilliant save there for North Middlesex. And now, a potential two-line offsides there. Wasn't called by the official. North Middlesex now with a 4-on-3 for the moment. And now that they set up in the Marlboro zone, and there's a little weak backhand, but shot wider than that. And now, tip towards the goaltender, Mark Huggins, who covers up. Just a moment ago, made mention of the fact that the MIAA is really trying to cut down on the violence, so-called violence around the hockey league. I've been to a few Marlboro High games this year, and nothing has really developed on the ice. Clean hockey. Shrewsbury game, 1 penalty. So far tonight, almost a period old. They've only had 1 penalty. They had a few against Leominster, a few against St. Peter's, but in every hockey game, there's going to be penalties. You rarely see a cheap shot delivered by a Marlboro player, though. I will say that to their credit. O'Brien, shot and a save, Ralfalski, and a shot on a beautiful backhand bid there by Kelly, just wide of the net. And there's a shot now and a goal by Marlboro. I believe LaCroix is going to get credited with that one, number 19. It was either Joey LaCroix or Kelly down there for Marlboro. Credit the goal to Billy Kelly. Bill Kelly, number 5 for Marlboro with the goal there. Third, 2:23 to go here in the first period. Marlboro threatening to blow this one wide open early. Now the play in the Marlboro zone. The centering pass, a shot, and a score. Number 5, Scott Hancock. What looked like a harmless play in the Marlboro zone results in Hancock's goal. North Middlesex now must feel they're back in it at 3-1. A big goal for them. The Marlboro defense caught napping there for the moment, and North Middlesex capitalized. Scott Hancock, the goal. Now they're playing behind the Marlboro net once again. Good check down below by John Gawler. Adams now stumbles across the blue line. Now he's pushed off by number 10, who breaks it out now. Tim Blanchard for North Middlesex. Going alone, though. Good play there by the Marlboro defense to get back on that play. Oh, and there's a dangerous play, and I don't believe that shot. 14 Kevin Miller, I don't know if he'll have a better opportunity. Shot at. There was a premature whistle down below. The puck never reached the red line. Unless we have a, yes, we do have an inadvertent whistle there for the faceoff at center ice. The referee may have thought the puck was going behind the net. Didn't know goaltender Mike Ralfalski was going to play it. Therefore, he blows the whistle, and wisely the faceoff comes to center ice. It is Adams in, shoots, save. Forward with a shot and a save. Adams with a move there, trying to get by Miller, who just had a golden opportunity to make this a 3-2 hockey game. Left wide open in front of the net. And drilled it. He shanked it like a football player kicker. Misses a field goal. Wide to the left. And here's Miller once again. North Middlesex basically going with a two-line team here. They don't have a lot of players on their team. And now they'll play out in front. Huggins covers up. 31 seconds to go here. Marlboro on top, 3-1. There's a draw back to the point. Number 2 with a slap shot, Brendan McNabb. Excuse me, that was number 3, Richard Clary. Not sure the pronunciation, but now the play in the Marlboro zone. 13 seconds to go, first period. Marlboro up, 3-1. Another play in behind where that should just about do it for the first period. Ooh, and there's a relatively dangerous pass there. So, at the end of the first period, the score, Marlboro 3, North Middlesex 1. We'll be back with second period action in just a moment. We're back at the John J. Navin Rink for second period action, Marlboro North Middlesex. Marlboro up 3-1. Goals from Adams, Billy Kelly 2, and the North Middlesex goal by Scott Hancock just before period's end. Put North Middlesex right back on the scoreboard, going right back into the game, going back into the locker room. It's a good chance to get this in. We're at the John J. Navin Rink, right down on Bolton Street. They're open 7 days a week for public skating, stick time, you name it. For more information, 481-5252, John J. Navin Rink, Bolton Street, Marlboro. Great entertainment for the whole family. There's a draw back to Ted Burgess, who flips it up to Adams. Billy Kelly working on a hat trick here for Marlboro. 2 goals early in the hockey game. Plenty of hockey ahead of him. But North Middlesex had to feel pretty good, scoring a goal, denting Marlboro's armor just before period's end. I don't know if they have the skating power to skate with Marlboro for three periods, though, up and down, as it was. And there's Landers behind the net, a beautiful rush. Broken up behind the net there by number 2, Brendan McNabb. North Middlesex, a regional school. Surrounding towns, Pepperell, Ashby, and Townsend. Quite a hike for North Middlesex to the Marlboro John J. Navin Rink. The Patriots from North Middlesex. Mark Ralfalski, a fine job in the nets for North Middlesex in the first period. Marlboro, plenty of golden opportunities to blow this thing wide open. But there is a lot of hockey in front of them. And there's a flick back to the point. Oh, and there's a dangerous pass there. Marlboro breaking it out of the zone. Landis. Wide to the right. Trying to drop one back to Adams. Adams filtering around in the slot. Adam and Landis couldn't quite get it to him. Fearsome sight for opposing teams. Landers and Adams breaking down the wing. Mark Landers, of course, a fine football player as well as a fine baseball player for Marlboro. Mike Landers, excuse me. And there's an icing down below. Puck's going to come the length of the ice, where there will be a face-off to the right of Marlboro goaltender Mark Huggins. Or if you're Mark Huggins, his left. Marlboro once again without Sean O'Malley, fine hockey player, who injured his knee a few weeks back. They said a four-week absence. He should be ready to return to action before too long, hopefully for Marlboro, barring any other instances there. Another player they miss who hasn't played this year, Mark Sari, the goaltender. Huggins has done a fine job in his absence. As has Rob Seymour. Seymour with the game against Leominster. Saw a lot of action, a lot of pucks that night. And now there's an offsides down below. Face off just outside the Marlboro zone. North Middlesex using basically two lines. Brendan McNabb's finally going to come off the ice. Almost on the ice for the whole period thus far. Speaking of which, down below, Mike O'Brien. Number 22. Seeing plenty of ice time for Marlboro tonight. John Gawler, Ted Burgess. The other defensemen from Marlboro playing key roles tonight. And there's a shot through the slot there by Adams. Now Adams circles the zone. Looks in, dumps it behind the net to Landers, excuse me. Now it's whipped up through center ice. North Middlesex seemingly getting tired out there. Unable to handle a lot of the clearing passes through center ice. A sure indication of tiredness out there. A tired hockey team. The two lines can't go up and down all night long against this fine Marlboro team. A team capable of blowing anybody out of the stadium, out of the rink, any night. Marlboro Panthers. A true test last weekend. St. Peter Marion. Marlboro lost 5-4 on the scoreboard. But we're down a couple goals late and really came back in fine fashion against a fine St. Peter team. One of their best they've had there in a long time. Another team from just over the border, Hudson, having a fine year also. They find themselves right in the thick of the Quinn League. It's Division III. Hudson is on a roll. And they do have a date with Marlboro. Marlboro beat them earlier in the season, 11-3. But Hudson, much improved. 48 kids out for the team this year. There's a lot of good hockey players, young hockey players. They only have 2 seniors on the team. They're going to be heard from in the future. And could pose some problems for Marlboro later on in the season. And there's one that's shot up and hit number 11 right in the face, J.J. O'Malley. Fortunately, the cage, which is required in high school hockey. There's a little action down on the right-hand corner of the rink. Digging in for Marlboro. And now wheeling out of the zone. Burgess with a slap shot and a big elbow save there by Ralph Valsky, the goaltender. Burgess can really fight a puck, and now we have a potential breakaway. Burgess, the lone man back for Marlboro, and dives. The shot was taken by number 6, John Andrews. As we get a good look at Mark Huggins, the goaltender, who made a brilliant save. A nice glove save. Well, this could have been a 3-2 hockey game. This is a crucial time for North Middlesex. You look down at the bench, they are all inhaling a lot of wind. A very tired hockey team. Now the puck down below in back of goaltender Mark Huggins. Here's O'Brien playing another fine night game for Marlboro. Night after night. The guy is on top of things and handles things well back there at the blue line for Marlboro. Likes to rush on occasion, and he likes to let that slap shot go. Finally was tipped wide of the net. Now Adams dumps it back to Landers. Adams with a shot and a save. Ralfalski. And now we have a little scramble down below, resulting in maybe a penalty here. Maybe Adams getting a little over anxious down there, trying to swat the puck away from goaltender Mark Ralfalski. Maybe a little frustration on Rob Adams' side there. A brilliant shot and a score to open things up for Marlboro by Adams, who was sent in by Foreign. Billy Kelly followed it up with 2 goals of his own. North Middlesex answered that with a goal from Hancock. Scott Hancock, just before period's end, to account for all 3 goals. We have matching penalties. North Middlesex was just whistled for a penalty. I believe the slashing calls on Adams, and I'm not sure the number for North Middlesex. It may be number 6, John Andrews. Nope, it wasn't John Andrews. John Andrews on the bench. We'll have to await this one. Try to find out for you. Oh, it is. A little flip in by Kelly to O'Brien, who loves to lead the charge from Marlboro. Behind the North Middlesex net. An extra offensive threat for Marlboro. O'Brien in deep to forecheck. Playing the wing on actually, he switched off with Billy Kelly, who was playing the point for the moment. And now O'Brien resumes his chores on defense. Kelly behind the net. Fine player for Marlboro, number 7, Ted Burgess. His brother Tim up at Cushing Academy, playing some fine hockey for them. There's a shot and a goal. A lot of ice room out there, a lot of ice. We'll have to wait. I think it might have been Dolan. This guy right there. Mike O'Brien, number 22, the goal for Marlboro. Marlboro now up 4-1 on the scoreboard. And Adams ran into, Landers ran into a host of North Middlesex players at the blue line. Finally, the puck in the North Middlesex zone, where it is broken out by number 14. Oh, and Kevin Miller, number 14, looked for 16, Mike McLaughlin, who fell down. Unfortunately for them, fortunately for Marlboro. Now O'Brien wheels it out of the zone. O'Brien playing most of the period again. Playing most of the game for Marlboro tonight. Fantastic job by Mike O'Brien. Doing it the Ray Bork style. Ray Bork on occasion appears to be on the ice all night for the Boston Bruins. Mike O'Brien doing his best Ray Bork imitation tonight. Logging a lot of ice time. Marlboro basically going with 3 defensemen. Maybe that's why. Gallner, number 3. Burgess, number 7. And O'Brien, 22. A lot of ice time out there in defense for Marlboro. It is a shot by number 4, Joe Liso. Saved by Huggins. Face-off going to be to his left. There's a draw that was won by North Middlesex in the slot. And a shot and a save by Huggins, and now when it's rolled just wide, number 12 had a golden opportunity. Tom Pear just slid it wide of the net. A helpless goaltender, Huggins, on that one. Face off now on the offside, just outside North Middlesex blue line. Dolan, 21. Billy Kelly, number 5 on the left. And LaCroix, number 19 on the right. The line for Marlborough. And counting for 2 goals. Kelly with 2 goals tonight, looking for a hat trick. And now the break down the Marlborough right side there, where LaCroix dumps it around, and there's O'Brien back on defense for Marlborough. Flipped up to Kelly, who dumps it in now to Dolan. Dolan last week, 2 goals against Shrewsbury, picking up the scoring pace for Marlborough somewhat. And there's a shot from the point by Burgess. And there's another shot to score by LaCroix on the rebound. Number 19, Joey LaCroix, on a rebound of a Ted Burgess shot from the point. Marlborough now leads 5-1, threatening to really break this one open now. North Middlesex is simply running out of gas down there. Marlborough now showing us their third line. Set it for you. Number 11 is J.J. O'Malley, alongside number 15, Mike LaCroix. And number 8, Chris Carter. Seeing some action out here now for Marlborough. And there's LaCroix. A beautiful pass in through center ice. J.J. O'Malley handled it beautifully, and now it's finally batted away. Chris Carter trying to keep it in here for Marlborough. Does so, but now North Middlesex very tired, on their heels of their skates right now. North Middlesex was with no get up and go right about now. They've just about had it. Marlborough threatening to blow this one wide open. And there's a shot and a save, not if Mark Ralfalski can help it, the goaltender for North Middlesex. Big save there. And there's a shot in and a save on LaCroix. Mike LaCroix trying to duplicate his cousin's feat of a moment ago on a rebound. Trying to bat one in. The save by Ralfalski. Trying desperately to keep the score down. 5-1 as it is right now. Marlborough on top. And wouldn't you know, North Middlesex has got to look up, a tired team, and see the likes of Rob Adams out there along with Landers. And there's that man again from the point. O'Brien playing fine hockey. Played absolutely fantastic hockey for Marlborough all season long. And there's a little dump down below. And we have an offsides. Face-off going to be outside the blue line. North Middlesex coach Sandy Ruggles must be a little concerned down below now. Looking up now, it's 5-1 Marlborough. Marlborough looks like they're just getting started here. Marlborough's been a late starter all season long, but as the game progresses, they've come out flying from the second period on. Oh, and there's one that was batted in front from behind the net by Landers. Bounced around in front of the goal and finally cleared out. A dangerous play down below. And it didn't even involve a Marlborough guy. Landers cleared it in front. North Middlesex batted it around almost into their own net. And now Adams with a shot and a beautiful blocker save. And I believe we have a goal. Foreign for Marlborough. Mark Foreign followed up Adams. And Marlboro now leads 6-1. That was a beautiful save initially there by Mark Ralfalski on a Rob Adams blast. A blocker save. Things are, the floodgates are opening, so to speak, here. And a little dump in there by Joey LaCroix, number 19. And there's a shot and a score. John Gallner, I believe. Number 3 for Marlboro on a wrist shot. Seven to 1. Start warming up the vocal cords. This one's just about over for North Middlesex. 7 to 1. 4:51 to go in the second period. A truly beaten team, and North Middlesex has called a timeout. A wise decision from Coach Sandy Ruggles. Oh boy, you got to feel for that team somewhat. Down 7 to 1. With that, we're going to take a little break in the action. We'll be back. 4:51 to go, second period. Score 7 to 1, Marlboro's favor. We're back after a goal by John Gallner, which led to the timeout. Sandy Ruggles, wisely called a timeout there. A very tired North Middlesex team. They have to travel about an hour home after the hockey game, down 7 to 1, 4.5 minutes to go in the second period. Plenty of hockey ahead of them, down 7 to 1 against the Central Mass powerhouse in Division II. Things aren't looking too healthy here for North Middlesex. Marlboro down the road is going to have some tests. They have St. John's again. St. John's earlier in the season beat them 5-2, and I believe they play St. Peter's Marion once again. I'm not sure of that, but they're a league opponent, and apparently you're supposed to play the league opponent 2 times, so that would mean St. Peter's and Marlboro will meet again. 2 big tests for Marlboro, along with Shrewsbury. Can't count Shrewsbury out. Played Marlboro tough, 3-2. So Marlboro's got to continue to do the things tonight to prepare for those teams, because it's not going to be no cakewalk when they play those 3 teams. St. John's, Shrewsbury, and St. Peter Marion. Can't forget Hudson. As I'm a new Hudson resident, I have to stick that one in there. Hudson's hockey team is going to be a powerhouse in the future. I do think they have 2 seniors on this year's team, and they've surprised just about everybody with their fine play. And now we have a break for North Middlesex through center ice and into the Marlboro zone. North Middlesex just doesn't have the finishing up power. They just don't have it. They're tired. They're a tired hockey team, but they're still out there giving it their all. Richard Clary, I believe the name is for North Middlesex, number 3, skated in and just ran out of gas. The puck just rolled off his stick. Good chance to promote some of the other things happening in the Marlboro area. The Marlboro hockey team, basketball teams are doing fantastic. Big wins over Hudson yesterday. A couple of easy ones. It's going to get a little tougher for them down the road, too. We have a break through center ice here. And into the North Middlesex zone. And this might cause a face-off down behind the North Middlesex zone, but the referees feeling for North Middlesex, letting this thing ride right about now. Ted Burgess now avoids a check. Number 9 for North Middlesex. Billy Cole with the first real good body check for North Middlesex tonight. And there's a neat shift down below by O'Brien, looking to center it. Now behind the net, J.J. O'Malley. And O'Brien. Might be a good opportunity for Marlboro coach John Butler to sit O'Brien down for a little while. Things are just about under control as far as Marlboro's concerned. Could ill afford a strange injury of some sort to that fine hockey player. A major ingredient down the road for Marlboro. A key player all season long. Down the road, they'll need the continued fine play, of number 22, Mike O'Brien. Also the second line tonight. I'm going to run down the scores for you quickly here. Adams with the first goal for Marlboro. Billy Kelly followed up with 2 of his own, putting him up 3-1. O'Brien scored for Marlboro. LaCroix, Foreign, and Gallner. That's number 19, Joey LaCroix for Marlboro. Marlboro's getting some points out of the defense. Just about everybody contributing tonight. 7-1, 1:57 to go here. Second period. Marlboro's basketball team tied with Milford. And the boys tied with Milford for the number 1 position. Midland League, last year of the Midland League. They have a date with Milford down the road. North Middlesex digging, trying to get a goal here. There's a shot in by Adams, just over the goaltender. Now send it in front. Adams again. There's Foreign with a shot and a save. Ralph Felsky. Well, the girls team continues to stroll through the Middle League. Just destroying every team that they faced in the Middle League. They've had their problems outside the league, and that's going to haunt them come tournament time. They do have some non-league opponents down the road, though, which may help them come tournament time. Fine basketball teams, Marlboro boys and Marlboro girls. Reminding you, this is a TV 30 channel 30 sports presentation. I'm Bill Coggins on the mic. Doing the camera, another fine job, Chris Donnellan, the Prince of Channel 30 as he's known around town here. Just moving into town, by the way, is now an official Marlboro resident, coming from nearby Framingham. Got married. He's got it all going for him. Chris Donnellan, Channel 30. Number 19 for Marlboro, Joey LaCroix with a goal tonight. Yeah, there's Ted Burgess down below. Play getting a little sluggish now with 5 seconds to go in the period. North Middlesex trying to get a goal before the period's end. 1 second to go. Just enough time to drop the puck. Marlboro completely throttling North Middlesex tonight. 7-1. Looked like it was up and down for the first 5 minutes of this hockey game. Up and down action. North Middlesex tried to come out and skate with Marlboro. A big mistake. They ran out of gas, as they only have 2 solid lines. Marlboro's team's on their way back to the dressing room already here, down below. And that is the end of the second period with a little skirmish down below. Let's not get things ugly here. Let's not prove a point as far as the MIAA is concerned. With that, we'll be back with third period action in just a moment. The score, Marlboro 7. We're just about ready for third period action here. Marlboro leading 7-1 over North Middlesex. North Middlesex trekking about an hour to get here. Taking about an hour to get here, excuse me. And down 7-1 at the end of 2 periods. They got to start thinking about the ride home. Down 7-1. But I'm sure head coach of North Middlesex, Sandy Ruggles, will try to get the most out of his players here in preparation for their next game. Marlboro with plenty of firepower tonight. And there's Adams. Shoots, saved by the goaltender who thought it was in, I think. Rafalski had no idea where the puck was. Excuse me. And it skidded off his pad and rolled just wide of the net. And now O'Brien puts it behind the North Middlesex net. Marlborough goals on the night. Robbie Adams started it. Bill Kelly with 2 goals to follow that up. O'Brien, who's played a fantastic game for Marlborough, scored a goal. Joey LaCroix, John Gawler, and I'm not sure the last goal. My notes are a little screwed up here. The second one. Mark Foran. The goal for Marlborough. The backhander now by Adams. Stopped by the goaltender, Mark Rafalski. Any comments on tonight's game or anything involving Channel 30? Feel free to contact Chris Donnellan at 481-1373. Your opinions and comments are welcome. Any kind of suggestions you may have, feel free to talk to Chris at 481-1373 right here in Marlborough, located down on Maple Street. Channel 30. Now the play up and down the ice. Marlborough with a new goalie. A new goaltender for Marlborough. Try to make out the number here. I believe it's number 18. Ed Peterson. Ed Peterson in the nets for Marlborough. John Butler trying to work in the younger players. Now the play in behind the Marlborough zone. And as Billy Kelly can't quite handle that one at his feet. Joey LaCroix behind the net. And Dolan at center ice. Play a little sluggish and early going here in the third period. Marlborough up 7-1 on the scoreboard, content to let the clock roll. Pass back to Kelly. Oh, hit the post. Joey LaCroix, the backhand bid, hit the far post. Score remains, Marlborough 7, North Middlesex 1. On the icing, the play will be to the right of goaltender Mark Rafalski. A worn-out North Middlesex team. They're not packing it in, though. They're still hustling out there. And there's a little flip in there by number 15, Mike LaCroix, only a freshman. I had a chance to talk to his brother, Kenny, a former number 15 for this Marlborough Panther team. Graduated only a year ago. Kenny, one of the finest hitters Marlborough High has ever had. And now the play behind the net. Ed Peterson, a new goaltender for Marlborough. Getting some work tonight. And a beautiful hip check right there. Number 17, Chris Guillen. Robbie Chase, number 2. Digging. Can't quite poke it home. Now the Puck batted around down there at the skates, and now a 2-on-2 break for the moment. Marlborough's fine defensive pair of Gallner and O'Brien back there to quickly break that up. And we have a potential breakaway here. Chase broken up by number 10, Tim Blanchard, the only man back for North Middlesex on a change. Dangerous change there. And Gallner back to O'Brien. Marlborough has gone with a 3 defenseman pairing tonight. They have 3 defensemen tonight. O'Brien was played just about the whole game. There he is at the point. The little slap shot in, just wide of the net, batted around a little bit down there. Gallner, O'Brien, and Burgess, the 3 defensemen for Marlborough tonight. Any one of those 3 guys will take it the length of the ice on occasion, especially O'Brien. An offensive threat from the defensive position here for Marlborough. .9:38, clock still running here. A nice shift by Landers, who drops it back, and a score! A nice drop pass from Landers, and Adams quickly deposited it in the back of the net for an 8-0 Marlborough lead now. Landers, a nice touch pass. Handled beautifully by Rob Adams that time. Adams looked and put it promptly behind the goaltender, Mark Rafalski. Marlborough now up on the scoreboard, 8-1. Huggins, the goaltender for Marlborough, gets a well-deserved break. Playing fine hockey in the nets for Marlborough. Ed Peterson now between the pipes, getting a little work. And there's Kelly down the left wing. Kelly's in, shoots, save. Goaltender Rafalski kicks it wide. The jam down below. Little wrestling match going on down below, but good, sound hockey game. Very few penalties here tonight. It's getting a little chippy down there now. It could be an act of frustration on North Middlesex part. Right there we have looks like a 3. Richard Clary, K-L-A-H-R-E, called for holding. Could have whistled him to the box on with just about any kind of penalty there. Could have been a cross check. Boarding. Referee not about to let this one get out of hand. And there's O'Brien behind the net, looking up ice. Keeping his head up. Mike O'Brien constantly with his head up for Marlborough, looking ahead. And now there's number 8, Chris Carter, trying to get something started here for Marlborough. There's a Claire Peterson, sticks it wide. And O'Brien circling his own net. Now comes through the center ice area. He's got Carter on the wing if he can find him. He elects to take it behind the net. Had Carter briefly wide open for the moment. There's a play from Burgess now, a slap shot and a save. Rafalski. Nice end-to-end rush. Mike O'Brien, number 22, has been doing it all night, all season long for Marlborough. It is going to get tougher for Marlborough, however. St. Peter's, St. John's, Shrewsbury looming in the distance. And, oh, Gallner with a shot. I thought it was going to break off the goaltender into that, but it was finally sat behind the net. Rafalski with a nice save there. That would have been goal number 9. There's a play to center ice. St. John's delivered a similar beating to North Middlesex only a couple nights back. 11-2, I believe, was the final score of that one. St. John's, another fine hockey team for them. Oh, and there's an attempt by Adams. Had Foreign circling in front, couldn't quite find him. Now Landers behind the net. Landers has Adams wide open in front. Adams with 2 goals for Marlborough. And there's a nice hit down below by Mike Landers on Brendan McNabb, number 2. Brendan McNabb, number 2 for North Middlesex, giving it his all tonight. Despite the score, still out there crashing, taking chances. Number 16, ooh, avoided a check there and finally went down. Mike McLaughlin avoided an O'Brien check, but the wind knocked him over. And there's O'Brien. Unbelievable how the guy can play almost the whole game at the high school level and still be effective. Playing a fantastic game. Super game for Marlborough. Oh, there's a backhanded bid there by Dolan. It's wide of the net. Kelly circles in the zone. Fires it out in front. Dolan in the left corner here. Dolan continuing his fine play tonight. Burgess with a slap shot and a stick save by goaltender Mark Rofalski. And a potential breakaway there, number 4. Joe Liso. Couldn't quite handle it. North Middlesex skating a lot better here in the third period. I don't know why. They look like a tired and beaten team in the second period. But they're still out there hustling, despite the 8-1 deficit. 8-1. 4 minutes to go in the hockey game. And we have a potential breakout here. 2-on-2 at the moment. Oh, and there's a nice check down below. Number 19, Joey LaCroix taking a hit from number 5. Scott Hancock, the lone goal scorer for North Middlesex, throwing his weight around a little bit. And Joey LaCroix, number 19, gonna sit in the box for the next minute and a half. I'm not sure what the call was. Could have been a charging call. He ran head on with the guy from North Middlesex there. Depends on the strides. If he took more than 3 strides, it's a penalty. The referee whistles him into the penalty box. And Mike Landis down below. Fine stick handling work. Now Teddy Burgess. Kind of a dismal crowd for tonight's hockey game. Really cold outside. Wednesday night. What better to do on a Wednesday night than catch a Marlboro hockey game, and we have a goal. Number 12, Tom Pear for North Middlesex. Scott Hancock and Tom Pear, the goals for North Middlesex. Now it's an 8-2 hockey game. I don't honestly think they have a fantastic finish in store down here, but you never know. 3 minutes to go. The Patriots fans giving them a hand. A gritty effort, despite the more experienced Marlboro's team. The fans giving North Middlesex a hand for giving it a heck of a try. It's not easy to come to Marlboro and play one of the powerhouses in Division II. Not only for North Middlesex, for any team in Division II to play Marlboro. The bright spot for Marlboro, the balanced scoring attack. Goals from just about everybody tonight. Down the road, come playoff time, teams aren't going to be able to key on certain players. Sean O'Malley comes back and is able to give Marlboro an added lift. They are going to be very, very tough to beat come tournament time. They appear to be getting better and better with every game, too, I think. Of course, North Middlesex isn't quite in the same category as Shrewsbury or St. John's, St. Peter's, but you can just see the intensity is there tonight for Marlboro. Last week against Shrewsbury, they didn't quite reach that point until like midway through the third period. And then Shrewsbury almost with an incredible finish. A man standing right in the crease, a centering pass, just skipped over his stick at the last minute. Oh, that would have been a tie hockey game. Marlboro stands in third place in the Royal League, behind St. Peter Marion, who they lost to last week, and St. John's, the front runner, who a lot of people picked to win Division II this year. St. John's. Shrewsbury right behind Marlboro in the standings. Algonquin in the cellar. Algonquin having a terrible season. Terrible season. But I expect them to rebound in the near future. Always a fine hockey team. With an excellent head coach. Very solid league. Marlboro's pit in the Royal. They are in the Royal League. With St. John's, Shrewsbury, St. Peter Marion, who all have fielded fine teams the last 4 or 5 years. St. Peter Marion, with the exception, had a couple of dismal years back to back, but they are back. They are back in Central Mass hockey. And there's a goal down below. Landers, I believe, for Marlboro. Gonna get credit with the goal. Tipped it through Mark Rafalski's pads. A 9-2 score. The Cardinal League consists of, and we do have a new goalie in the net, I am told. Try to get that for you. Number 30, Todd Pimentel. Todd Pimentel, the new goalie. Mark Rafalski, a fine job in the nets for North Middlesex, despite the 9-2 score. Landers denting the net for Marlboro. They're going to need contributions from that young man down the road who has had a real terrible luck streak. He hasn't been able to buy a goal. went down to the 5 and dime, I understand, and tried to buy himself a goal one night, and that didn't work out. Mike Landers, a fine hockey player who is going to be heard from before this season is over. Only a junior. That's the hockey game. Marlboro High, a 9-2 win over North Middlesex. For Marlboro Channel 30 Cable Trust, this is Bill Coggins. Nice job by Chris Donnelly on the camera tonight. Reminding you that we will be bringing you more Marlboro High hockey action as we look at the players shaking hands. We will try to bring you as many hockey games as time permits. And when the tournament comes, you better believe Channel 30, Chris Donnelly and Bill Coggins will be there to follow the action as much as we can. Once again, the final score, John J. Naven Rink, Marlboro 9, North Middlesex 2. This has been a Marlboro Cable Trust Sports presentation.